South Africa finds itself in a precarious economic place. Our economy hasn't grown for years. A budget wasn't even tabled recently because the only way the government can generate revenue is by increasing VAT. We've given up the hope of growing our economy. But one thing that will remain in South Africa through good times and bad is the obsession with race. Can you imagine if you had told somebody 35 years ago that 35 years' time we'll still be using the apartheid era classifications as a standard in South Africa? And we have got many bodies, business bodies in South Africa. More than we've got business, we've got bodies that will be formed and charge people membership and so on. And one of those organizations is the Black Business Council. And joining me today is the CEO of the Black Business Council, Khanki Matabane. Khanki, welcome to State of the Nation.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, no, I think it's important that we understand the work that the Black Business Council is doing and the intended economic outcome of that, because what we like to do on the State of the Nation is to link actions with the economic outcome, because what is important in South Africa is economic growth. Yeah. The rest, we can all talk about it, but when you're poor, you're poor. You just don't have options. So I went onto the website, and the stated aim of the Black Business Council is to promote and advance the interest of black business in the economy. We should achieve this by uniting all affiliates behind a shared vision of ensuring it is the strategic center for black business. So the question that comes to that I want to ask is the Black Business Council a lobby group that lobbies government, or is it a business chamber that tries to increase the amount of business done in South Africa?
The Black Business Council is both. So we are both so basically we are a chamber movement that lobbies government, but also lobbies big business, because majority of our members are small, and they are small mainly because of apartheid, because black people, as you know, were not allowed to do business. So we're still in a way trying to get black business to be on par with the rest of the business world in South Africa. So maybe let me start with the end, because I liked your question. So that at the end of the day, what we want all people in South Africa to be able to play a role in making sure that the economy grows, because you can't continue 31 years into democracy where only 7% of the population actually drives the economy, owns, manages, and controls the economy. You have to come to a situation where you allow the 100% to own, manage, and control the economy, as the president of the country always say. If you have a car with 6 cylinders, but you only use 1 cylinder, the car will struggle. And we've seen how the country is struggling from an economic growth point of view, because we're not utilizing the rest of the people. We're only utilizing 1%, or one cylinder, which is like 7% of the population. So it's very, very important that we must bring the 92% of the population to participate, not as receiving handouts, but as participants in the economy. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to grow the economy, because 7% of the population cannot carry 92% of the population. It's just not possible.
Okay. Before we get to the issue of tackling growth and increasing the economy so that it reaches its potential, I want to pick up on your 7% driving the economy. Now, when you say that, one must assume that what you're included in there is all of the big corporates. So you taking a look at Standard Bank, you're calling that a white company. Its CEO is Sim Shabalala. It's the majority of their staff, the majority of the people that work for that organization, as well as the majority of their shareholders, are black, right? Now, how do you derive the 7% number, or do we have to suspend in time to go back to the way things looked in 1990 suspend it, and when you go to Standard Bank and see that about 80% of their employees are not white, do we have to not look at those people?
Yeah, remember, there's a difference between an owner and an employee. So Standard Bank...
so the CEO is not... there's somebody
it's not
behind.
An owner. Yeah, it's not an owner.
So who are the owners of a Standard Bank? Surely it's the shareholders.
Yeah, the owners are the shareholders.
Okay, so the majority of the shareholders, because that's public information, right? The majority of the shareholders would be organizations like the PIC, like the asset managers, like the insurance companies, right? Those are the people that own the biggest chunks of shares, right? There's no one person. There's no Mr. Standard Bank.
You're right.
There's shareholders, right? And the shareholders, because the growth of the economy and the growth of asset management, even though people don't understand that they are contributing towards asset management when they have a life policy, when they leave money in the bank, that's ending up as shareholding in companies. So the majority of those shareholders, and let's not forget that the biggest single shareholder is China, right? We're using Standard Bank as an example. Yes. Now, I'm trying to get to this idea where there's some secret cabal of white owners, that 7% of the population that owns an organization like that. How does that work?
Yeah, no, there's no cabal.
I'm just trying to see where you get the 7% from, because it sounds sexy, but it's a lie.
Well, you are talking about the indirect owners.
No, I'm talking about the shareholders. Shareholders are shareholders.
I'm talking about direct shareholders. A direct shareholder of a Standard Bank,
yes,
will be a coronation. It's not people who are sitting at home.
So now a coronation,
owning the having policies or anything. Those are not we're talking about direct shareholder, because the direct shareholders are the ones who appoint directors, and they are the ones who vote in the AGMs.
Yes.
Those are the powerful people.
Yes, and they are usually the funds, that are managing people's money.
Yeah, but those funds are also not transformed. So it's me sitting at the back. I've got no power and control.
I think that you are just, you've taken numbers that are suspended in time, right, and trying to overlay it to the current situation. I mean, I recently did a project at Nedbank, and I went to their head office. And they've got this wonderfully big campus over here, and the majority of people, by a long shot, are black, right? Now you're saying I mustn't see that. I must just see the few white people that are smattering around.
I'm not talking about employees.
No, but
employees don't have power on what the company does.
But now you're kind of going to
ownership.
You're going to end up with only one person having power, and it's some person sitting in a corner plotting the downfall.
No one is
of the country.
I'm
saying, these lies that we feed ourselves in South Africa, I don't know if they're useful, because it sounds very sexy to say 7% of the population own the economy. But it's not true.
It's true. The facts are there.
It's not true. And I'll tell you why the facts are, why I'm going to say that it's an absolute lie, is that the majority of the shareholders who own the shares that make the decisions in the company represent South Africans that have invested money.
Yeah, but I'll just give you an example. If I own one, if I have invested money that is controlled by a coronation, I've got no power in what coronation does. I've got no power. Coronation is the one that drives everything. So if coronation goes and votes in Standard Bank shareholders meeting, I've got no influence on that. So you can't call me an owner. You can't call me an owner. An owner must have power to say, I'm appointing this one, I'm firing this one, I'm doing this one, I'm voting against this one, I'm voting for this. That's shareholders' power. So indirect shareholders are not necessarily powerful. So you can't count them.
I'm trying to find out, other than sort of giving this catch-all like Stellenbosch are the owners, who are these owners that you speak of? Because, if it's not the shareholders, then who? Right? Those are the people that are making. If it's not the CEO, then who? Do you know what I mean? And I'm saying it sounds very attractive, and I'm sure it gets you members, and I'm sure it gets you a lot of interviews on SABC. But I don't understand how this lie can perpetuate, because at the end of the month, your Coronation Asset Management gets a ton of money in, right, as people pay for their investment products. Am I right?
You're right, yes.
And that then totals billions of rand that they then invest in companies.
Yes.
Right? But that money by now it may have started 40 years ago as being white money, is now representative of 100% of the country. Right? I'm saying, by definition, your company may have a provident fund, you may have a personal pension fund, you've got life policies, that money, savings accounts, that money all ends up in the hands of those asset managers. That money you can't say is white. Your money didn't net. If you've got an account at Coronation, an investment, that money didn't suddenly become white money. You are still you.
Yeah, but the representative of that money is not black people. So their outlook of
how do you make
things.
that statement, right? That the representative of that money is not.
I mean, the owners of the owners of those companies, of those fund managers, are not black.
So
because we've done the research, only around 10% of fund managers in the country are black. And they've got no power to be owning those big companies because they are not given allocation, even from the PIC. The PIC gives them very, very little allocation. They are still giving all the allocation to the big companies, which are white companies. So you can't say black people own the economy.
And when the PIC invests, is that now white money?
Yeah, but it's not black. PIC is not black.
What is the PIC then?
I don't know what it is, but it's not black.
Well, it represents government employees, right? So government employees.
Yeah, but it's not black. It's not black.
What is it? Are we going to go forever on this? I'm saying we're going to make no progress if we're trying to say that that what was is still now, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm saying it's ridiculous because PIC money belongs to the country. And as you said, 93% of the country is black. So therefore, PIC money belongs to the Republic of South Africa.
Yeah,
to call it white is ridiculous. Not because its roots may have been.
But also, it's not black. So the issue that we're fighting for, we need to have black individual owners owning the economy and running the economy.
Right.
And we don't have that.
Okay.
We still have.
But that's not where you started.
Yeah, but I was coming
with
here.
The white companies.
I was coming here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
let's get there.
Even at Standard Bank, majority of the individual shareholders are not black people. So black people don't control the economy. Black people only own 5% of the economy. The rest is not owned by them.
That's a lie. It's a straight out lie.
It's true.
It's a straight out lie. It's a lie.
We've done the research.
But it's a lie because then what you're saying is you are saying 100% of the PIC money is white. That's the only way you can get to that number.
No,
and 100% of
I'm talking about individual
money
owners.
is
No, I'm not talking about the pension funds.
Are the individual owners of the PIC white?
No, there are white people there as well.
Okay, who owns the PIC?
It can't be black.
So who owns the PIC?
It's owned by the people.
By the government. It's a state. It's a state. It's an entity of the state.
Yeah, but the PIC is owned by people who are contributing money through the pension fund.
Yes.
Which is the government employees pension fund.
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
So
so who owns it?
That's the owner.
But now, how do you put it through a machine, and then the money comes out white? Is that what happens?
But it's not black.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
What's the percentage of black workers that contribute to the government employees pension fund?
But remember, you can be many. Black people are at the bottom of the pyramid. So even if they can be millions, they earn very little compared to the white people who are at the top.
Who? So let's take specifically the government employee pension fund, right?
Yeah.
That's now getting money from people that work for the state at various levels.
Yeah.
Right? So I can think of Barbara Creasy, maybe, I don't know, Carl Niehaus in Parliament, John Steenhuisen as a cabinet minister. Yeah, we've got a handful of white people, right? You're saying that there's people at the top that are getting money from the government, they work for the government at the top. When I last looked, all of our SOEs, just about, including their boards of directors, including cabinet ministers, including senior politicians, city managers, etc., are not white.
But you are deliberately forgetting the history.
No, but I'm saying the history is exactly that. It's history.
PIC is more than 100 years old.
Yes.
The black people, majority of them started contributing after 1994.
Oh, not true.
So the rest of the money that is sitting at PIC is a historical money. Those people, they are still alive. They've made contribution. So you may find the majority of the contributors are still white because is a historical thing. So you can't ignore history and then just only count from
you're saying that,
1994.
You're saying that the majority of the contributors are still white. And I'm
including the historical ones.
Yeah, but that was then. And we've had, since then, the economy grow by a factor of about 10 since then. So in other words, the new money has washed over the old money so fast. All I'm saying is that I can understand that some of the beneficiaries, some of the pension recipients are ex-white state employees. But we know that whites have not been employed in the government sector for 30 years, right? There's been a concerted effort to do that, barring a couple of teachers, and even the Bella Act's going to take care of that. The point is that you are conveniently using a historic situation, right, to try and argue a case for the current, which is absurd. It's a bit like when people sit in that very chair and talk about land, and then in the number, state-owned land ends up in the white pile. You know what I mean? I'm saying, let's be truthful. Let's be truthful, and you got an influential voice out of there, but at least what we could expect from you is to be truthful, because right now you have to call PIC money. You've got to go further, old mutual money, you name it. The asset managers do not get money from white people overall. The majority of the money they're getting is from the majority of South Africa to invest wisely.
Yeah, but again, you are forgetting history, because white people, even now, white people earn more than black people. So
yes, all 7% of them. Yes.
They're only 7% earn more than 92%.
No, that's rubbish. That's a lie.
So
you can't say that.
Their contributions will be more. So if I earn 3,000 rand per month,
you can't,
and someone earns 1 million per month, my contribution and their contribution will be different. And even if we're 100, we're earning 3,000 rand per month.
I love you dearly.
One individual is contributing more than us.
Please, I love you dearly, but please, you can't say that 7%, that the white population earns 92% of the money.
It does.
Please, you cannot say that. Because what you're doing when you say that is you're peddling a lie that's not very helpful to the future of the country. But immediately, the only way you can derive that figure is by saying every person that works for a corporate in South Africa is white money. Every person that works for the state is white money. And you can only get there through things that are no longer true. Am I disputing the fact that they were once true? Not at all. They used to have an old South Africa where the economy was white.
But the economy is still white. The 70% of CEOs of JSE listed companies are white males.
Yes.
31 years into democracy.
Yes.
Look at their salaries. Look at the salaries of the cleaners at those companies.
But now that's, once again, that's a ridiculous thing.
So how much they earn?
Cleaner.
Yeah, but majority of black people are at the bottom.
No,
they're not at the top.
That's not true.
So 70% of CEOs of JSE listed companies. Those are the facts. No, I'm not manufacturing anything.
You are.
I'm telling you the truth. Go and read the Commission of Employment Equity report. That is the information provided by the companies, not provided by government. It shows you 70% of CEOs, 31 years into democracy, are white males. So you can see nothing is actually changing. The economy is still run and owned and managed by white people.
By your own words,
by the facts. Those are the facts. I'm not manufacturing anything.
No, but by your own words, a lot's changed. It went from 100% to 70%. That's a big change.
No, okay. I'm talking about the CEOs of companies. And the CEOs are appointed by the shareholders.
Right.
So shareholders, if they are white shareholders, they're going to appoint white.
Why?
They're going to appoint white people because they look like them. Because they look like them, they feel more comfortable with them than someone else.
So you don't think that shareholders would want the best guy doing the job?
They're very subjective.
Just obsessed with skin color.
Yes, they are, because they feel like white people can do better. Just like white people were defending the director who messed up our country. He messed up ESCOM in the 3 years that he was there. But white people were defending him because a white person cannot be incompetent.
That's a dramatic, sweeping statement and assumption that like all white people were.
They were defending him in the media.
They. in
Yeah,
them.
they are.
I'm saying,
they were defending in the media. I've never seen you saying director is incompetent.
I did. I had Nteto Nyati right here, and full credit to him. I'm saying let's call it for what it is. I'm just saying.
Let's be factual. For me, I'm saying let's be factual.
To be factual.
Let's not thump like things because otherwise.
But we can be factual. But then what we've got to do is we've got to continually update those facts.
I agree.
So let's continually update those facts because.